Hi, I'm Allan. Welcome back to Conversations with Allan. Before we get started, I feel like I owe you a brief explanation for my absence. A few weeks ago, I took a pretty hard fall and ended up with a significant facial injury, 14 stitches worth, and what turned out to be 2 fractures in my left arm. The good news is that I'm doing well, no surgery required, and I'm healing on schedule. The honest truth is that recovery took a little longer than I expected, not just physically, but personally. If I'm being candid, I felt self-conscious about how I looked on camera, and I simply wasn't ready to record any videos. But healing has a way of creating perspective, and I've had some time to think. What's interesting is that while I was away, our industry didn't slow down for a moment. In fact, 2 significant announcements came through. eXp Realty completed its acquisition of NextHome, and REAL announced its intended acquisition of RE/MAX. Those announcements generated exactly what you'd expect. Questions, speculation, predictions, and no shortage of opinions. Some agents are excited. Some are concerned. Most are somewhere in between, trying to figure out what it all means for them personally. And I think that's completely understandable. But as I watched those conversations unfold, I kept coming back to something we've been building toward throughout this series. Whenever major changes happen in our industry, the natural first question is, what does this mean? That's a fair question, but I think there's a better one. What should I be evaluating right now? Because the honest truth is, none of us has access to every internal plan, every future leadership decision, or every strategic move that will follow these announcements. Predictions are easy. Clarity is much harder and more valuable. What we can do is focus on the things that have always mattered. When significant industry changes occur, I believe agents should return to 5 fundamental questions. Number 1, what happens to support? Will it improve, hold steady, or quietly erode? Number 2, what happens to training? Will agents be developed more intentionally, or will that investment shrink? Number 3, what happens to technology? Will it advance, stagnate, or become a negotiating chip in someone else's deal? Number 4, what happens to leadership accessibility? Will the people making decisions still be reachable to the agents out in the field? And finally, number 5, what happens to the economics of the model? Does the structure become stronger for the agents operating inside it, or stronger for everyone else? Because logos may change. Ownership may change. Corporate strategies will certainly change. But the questions agents need to ask themselves remain remarkably consistent. For months now, we've been talking about why structure matters. Not because structure makes headlines, and not because it's the most exciting topic in real estate, but because structure ultimately shapes outcomes. The environment that you build your business inside affects your opportunities, your leverage, your growth, and your long-term freedom. And I think the events of the past few weeks simply underscore what we've been saying all along. This isn't a moment for panic or blind optimism. It's a moment for clarity. I'm glad to be back, and I'll be honest, being away gave me something I didn't expect. It reminded me why these conversations matter. Not because I have all the answers, I don't, but because agents who think clearly about the structure around them make better decisions. And better decisions build better careers and better lives. That's what this series has always been about. And there's more I want to share with you. In the conversations ahead, I'm going to get more specific about what I've found, what I've built, and what I believe is possible for agents who are ready to evaluate their options with clear eyes and an open mind. I think you'll find it worth your time. I'm Allan, and I'll see you in the next conversation.